When I make my music, I'm just coming from the heart with it. I'm not trying to make a hit or trying to make this song or that song. I'm just making music from the heart. That's how it should be. 8 Mile Road, baby. Take it or leave it. Live or die. Choose or be chosen. Great migration to Joy Road. It gets no prettier, baby. Woo! That's what a nigga see. That's what make me right here. We approaching my block. Ward and Ellis, baby. This the lab right here. That's where we do our work. Coming down the steps, you see the symbol of the Kings right there. That's us, man, you know. You see the symbol of the family. So this right here, this is where the Great Migration was recorded. Lay down most of my verses right here. This mic, so you know what I'm saying, I hope it's legendary. I hope the mic and the booth become legendary. See all the lyrics sitting around, you know, we work hard. So you know what I'm saying, we up till 6, 7, 8, 9 in the morning from the previous night working.
My man Naz, man, fucking Wizard of Oz, nigga, believe that shit.
Yo, you got it, the level. I'm like 2 hammers aiming at you in the cold of the night. But oh, just despite, I might pull a robbery, probably because my daughter need to eat. That's how it goes. Strict with the flows, I strip clothes and strip shows and cheaters, you know. South of 8 Mile flow. Dirty rhyme Hasbro, match hell, child toy with the gat claw. In my waist like raccoons. I'm downtown Detroit, thinking of schemes. Fuck it, the flow keep flowing like liquid drip. Dracula spit the neck at you. After I bite you and suck the blood. I'm not such a thug that I rubbed the done off the planet Earth, but I might if you step on my toe and I feel it's what it's worth. That's how it go with the crowbar, gat with the face for the splat, with the gat or the hat. Yeah. Shoot through your hat for the camouflage, with the camouflage large niggas behind my squadron.
Catch up, niggas.
My musical influence is basically there. It lies in soul. I love soul music. My dad, I grew up, my pops was listening to it and shit. A lot of Stevie Wonder, Teddy Pendergrass, all the shit like the Temptations, shit like that. So, like from that point on, I branched off into all the underground soul groups. There's a lot of them out here in Detroit, you know what I'm saying? You go around the record stores, you'll see some shit you ain't gonna see nowhere else. Some old soul. So basically, I could listen to that all day. And then of course, you know what I'm saying, I got into hip hop. First shit I really listened to was like the Fat Boys. Then I started getting into like Ghetto Boys, NWA, all them types growing up, you know what I'm saying. My favorite shit was KRS-One and Boogie Down Productions. And my favorite MC was probably Big Daddy Kane, you know what I'm saying, my favorites. Yeah, basically my history as a producer, I pretty much started messing with equipment about back in '94. I had a little group I had back then called the South House Click. We was trying to pop things off, but you know, nothing really happened with it, so I just kept making beats and I kept rhyming myself. And eventually I linked up with Silver Rings, who was actually the first European killer bee. He heard some of my beats and some of this album I had made in '98 called The Unknown, and he was interested in hearing some more beats, so we started emailing back and forth. And back then actually Wu-Tang was my favorite group, so it was like destiny that I found a link. So basically he would let me know, you know, when RZA would be in town and maybe could meet with me. So I caught the Greyhound out to New York 4 times and shit. The 4th time I went,
I actually met RZA outside of 36 Chambers. I was out there talking to Ninth Prince, trying to see if I could, you know, get some beats off. And RZA came through or whatever. And RZA had left. So, you know what I'm saying, I was just going to sit there and wait it out, see if he'll come back. So he came back through, and I had actually did like 3 songs with one of his groups, Division. And so, you know, RZA came in, and the first thing I saw was RZA. He stopped, and he started looking, and he bobbed his head at the beat. I was like, okay. So he feeling it. So it was actually later that night, we was all just vibing. And then later that night, they was getting ready to go to the club. So I stopped RZA. I said, yo, can I get like just 5 minutes of shit? He was like, yeah, I got 5 minutes. You know, I appreciate that very much. So I showed him one song. It was a song I did called Blowgun. From that point on, it's Wu-Tang family.
Alright, as far as the 5% movement having an influence on my music, it definitely had an influence on my music. Basically because I was into Wu-Tang that much. So basically, they brought enlightenment to me on that subject, and I took some classes on Islam and in the sects of it, all the different parts, and also took a class on Christianity. So I came to the belief that they God is our God. All of God is the same. God is Allah. Allah is God in a different language. You know what I'm saying? And the religions are touched by man, but I feel they all stand for the same basic principles. So as far as the basic principles and rights that are involved in my album and my feelings, I definitely have been influenced by the 5% movement. You know, the Great Migrations, my first release, Baby Grand Records, my nigga Dreddy Kruger, Think Differently. He extended his hand and helped a nigga out, helped me get my thoughts out, throw them on paper. Basically, you know, I've been rhyming before I've been producing. So, you know, my skills on the mic, I ain't did a lot of songs. But basically, when this album dropped, when you hear the lyrics on here, you might think they outshine the beats this time. Word up, man. That's how I feel. I'm coming through with the Great Migration. And that got a little history behind it because I kind of took pieces from the Great Migration of the black families in the South, as I have lineage that's from slavery. So, you know, to move up north to find work, I kind of paralleled it with my struggle in life. So the Great Migration, man, it's life, lyrics, you know the beats is there, but pay attention to the lyrics on this one. You know what I'm saying? I'm Bronze, I'm from Grand Rapids, Michigan. We call it Gun Rule. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm in Detroit, been here for a few years. So from this point on, man, we run the streets, man. It's gonna be me after my album, 7 Wise. So I want y'all to get into my album, man. It's just that real life shit that y'all been missing, man. None of that bullshit, man. So, Bronze, Nazareth, Wu-Tang, Element. Peace.